It's a great day for the weekly Q&A session. If you're wondering what this is or where this is coming from, it is a similar setup to the live streams that we typically have on this channel, at least once, maybe even twice a week going onwards and forwards from here. Except it is pre-recorded, obviously. and we're going to be fielding questions from the Discord community and, of course, the YouTube members community as well, with priority going to the YouTube members community because, this video, I don't want it to be fucking forever. So, definitely more than 30 minutes, but less than an hour. That's where I kind of feel best on this one. We'll do a very quick analysis on Bitcoin right here because I know that a lot of people are, typically interested in that. Looking at Bitcoin, still wedging itself into this nice, what seems to be an ascending triangle right here, which is just, your higher lows. Buyers getting more aggressive the whole way through, which is overall a good sign. And of course, what is even more important, in except for formations, is of course looking at daily BBWP. We've seen now that daily BBWP has gone for nearly full compression here after hitting extreme levels about a couple of weeks ago. So what does this imply? This implies that this consolidation is very mature and it can break. It can break really at any moment at this point. Very, very likely we see an actual break of this formation early this next week. Now I am biased towards the upside, of course. One, because trend, and two, because daily stochastic oscillator is seemingly once again basing off of this same regression that has been holding the low since September, October, November, which on the charts are this low, and this low, and perhaps putting another one right here. And it will officially cross the upside today if Bitcoin does close above 98,500. So assuming that Bitcoin remains above that pivot, which right now it's about more than $1,000 above, that does set things up for a real try, like an actual deep try into the $100,000 territory. So I'd be cognizant of that. And, we'll see where things open up tomorrow. So again, that's based off of the daily closure. All right, cool. Now let's get into, of course, our YouTube member section right here. So if you're wondering where the YouTube member section is, by the way, because I've gotten a few questions about this, it's just the join button right here that you see beneath any YouTube video. And that will give you the option to join on in with that. Of course, I give priority to this group because, well, that's the purpose of it. Anyways, we'll start off with Cousin Burley here. He says, "Hey Crown, what do the different colors on the support band of your quantum wave bands represent? Grateful as always." Actually can't tell you that because one, I don't know, and two, because the strategy itself is a rather black box strategy, meaning that, we don't really give away the details of the different conditions for entry and exit because then, that obviously kind of destroys the point. But looking at the hourly setup right here, we can actually see, since this massive trade that we did see on Monday, which again, this is not what this is designed for. This is designed for very short-term scalping, very, relatively minimal deltas between your entry and exit in relatively short amount of time. But this one did get a tremendous trade right here. This one over here did actually produce, it looks like a slight loss. So, again, if you're looking at a strategy like this, you have to be more of the scalping mindset. If you're a trend trader, it's not going to be a good fit. But yeah, just kind of eyeballing it, I'm guessing you're talking about the difference between the green and the yellow colors right here. I'd imagine that the yellow colors give a no entry sort of condition, that kind of preludes to all of the other entry conditions. But yeah, that's really all that I have to say about that. Moving on from there, we have Ollie Verk. He says, "Greetings from France, dear Lord Crowned, Monsieur mon ami." No. Bonjour, mon ami. Yeah. Could Hammy Soul, oh God, on weekly and daily get back to its all-time high this bull run, please? Well, that's always a good question, I guess. Hammy Soul, first off, is it even on TradingView? That's the real question, and apparently it is. So, well, that's good. Looking at the full chart here, this one's been around since March of this year. It does have a real chance to get back to that prior high. I guess so. I mean, it's not like it was a prior cycle shitcoin, so it's not kind of beholden to the exact same rules there. It looks like a little bit more on the weaker side compared to most things. I'm guessing this is in the meme category, just based off the name. I might be wrong about that, by the way. So, if it's not, just disregard. But compared to most memes, I think, or maybe not most memes, but compared to the strong memes, this one does not really have anything of great interest here. here, but do I think it's going to pop back up? Yes, this is a very obvious consolidation right here. You've seen a few higher lows along the way recently as well. It's going to have a chance to the upside. Is it going to retest this prior high? Perhaps, yeah. It's very difficult with memes, but I do think that at least you get somewhere around like these highs right here that were back from, I guess, early May, something like that. All right, moving on from there, we have Martin Sean Hunt. He says, "Good day, sir. Can you please analysize my WIF tokens versus Bitcoins on the highest time frame that makes sense?" All right. WIF on the highest time frame that makes sense versus Bitcoin. I guess we go to Binance for this one. Not a very long-lasting chart. So, even a daily here is pretty questionable, to be honest with you. But, looking at it, it looks very similar to the last chart that we just looked at, right? It had its nice major pop in February, March. And since then, it's been sideways and down, consolidating in this range. But we do see that there are a couple higher lows right here. I know I looked at this one, I guess, somewhat recently for you. The LARP line's still playing out right here. So, I'd be looking for this. I don't really have anything new to say about this. I do think that it will pop back up, retest these highs from, I guess it was October of this year. In the second that you start to see it close above those highs, 45, 46 region, this thing, I suppose, could, just like the last one, retest, I guess, close to the prior all-time highs versus Bitcoin. But other than that, I don't really have much to say about it. I'm sure the pattern bros will call this an inverted herp and derp here. I'm just curious what the measured move would be showing, just on the off chance that it is. Maybe a moon target of 77.69 if things get super crazy. But again, that's highly speculative. Let's call that. All right, Jamal Mina, yeah. Could you please have a look at, by the way, I fucking love this coffee. Oh my God. Finland is the best when it comes to coffee. It's actually amazing. Even the commercial store-bought coffee is fucking good. That's just unheard of, man. Just unheard of after I've been deprived for so long. Anyways, Jamal Mina doesn't care about that. He cares about this. He's talking about his favorite pet rock, AIOZ, on the weekly and monthly. Okay. AIOZ sounds like an old shitcoin. So that might not be good, but let's see. No, I'd say it's better than most old shitcoins, actually. Trading above the prior major swing high from November of 2021. That is significant. Of course, I want to see another closure above there, but I do think it's probably more or less a formality here. I do think that this one probably does retest, I guess, your official all-time high in like the $2.50 region. That can obviously take some time. This is a monthly look right here, so, it could easily take like 2 to 3 months, I guess. But monthly momentum to the upside, and I think weekly is also following through right here. So I actually do think that this one probably does continue on with the rally like from here. I can very easily be wrong about that. If I am, you'll see this thing back down below 90 cents. That'd be my validation. At that point, could easily correct significantly further, I guess, to like 60, 70 cents region. But, for what I'm looking at right here, I think it probably actually has a chance to push on through. Then again, maybe the 5-day begs to disagree with that sentiment. But yeah, just want to see another weekly closure, like a little bit above, what is it, like 117, let's call it. That would do it for me. All right, that is actually it for our member section. Only 4 people. That's good. That's fine. I guess that gives more time to the Discord people over here. And of course, you can join on for free in the Discord section. There's a link in the description below. I'll just quickly show you right here, or it's somewhere here, I'm sure. Yeah, Cave Discord creating community. Crazy. Wait, you can't see it. Yes, you can see it. Okay. Why didn't you say something? Yeah, you can join right there. And then, of course, that'll bring you to our server, and you can find the weekly Q&A session under the K video content section right here. If you can't figure it out, if you literally can't figure it out, please do not email Elsa, because you're actually lobotomized and you can't be asking questions. I'm sorry, but you actually can't be asking questions, because it's she can't be inundated with things like this when there are more important things going on. I'm joking, but I'm also not joking. Anyways, I'll post a new one, by the way, at the end of this video. Daga DT says, hello, sir. Any chance on a 50% Christmas sale on Teachable? I've been watching your videos since 2018. Crypto Cave. Keep up the good work. Awesome, man. I appreciate that. I do have some bad news for you, though, I guess. You've been here since 2018, so I guess you kind of already know this, but we've always done 20% price reductions or sales, I guess, for the holiday season. And yes, we will have one for Christmas as well, so it'll be coming up relatively soon, but it'll be the same as always, 20%. Yes, we have done more than that, specifically for the Quant Prime service in the past, but that was just for the first payment. So we actually decided, based off of the feedback that we got, that people much prefer 20% off of all of the lifetime of their subscription. So fair enough. So that's what we do across the board now. Anyways, C, actually, I think I have my streamer mode on. Let's see who this is. Colin. Yeah, I thought I recognized that avatar. Hey, Crown, wishing you and Elsa the best. Appreciate that, man. Any chance you can speak on this crypto meme craze? Lots of rug pulls as it is crypto land, and would love to get your opinion on it, in addition to the overall crypto landscape and how it's grown from 2017 to present and how it compares to traditional markets. Really good question, man. The meme craze, I think it's just the natural sort of evolution of where we've seen the space go, because most things in this market from yesteryear. So I'm going to speak specifically now to 2017 because you quoted that one. What was the big thing then? It was the ICO craze, right? And then in 2020 you had DeFi, and then in 2021 you had NFTs. And so during all of these periods, yes, there were some legitimate projects who, really wanted to do what they purport to, to actually want to do. But there was significantly more, just complete fucking vaporware projects, that, were essentially money grabs, in hindsight, or, it's probably obvious to a lot of people, that were just completely worthless, and they had no plan to ever, follow up on their goals as far as a project, but, they're happy for you to send them money. Right. So, the memes kind of, to me, is a natural evolution, because over time, I think people just realize, like, these things don't have fucking fundamentals behind them. So why is a meme not valuable if these other things, which are also essentially memes in essence, because they don't have any real value, they don't have anything behind them, just a little bit of marketing, why would memes be any different? In fact, if anything, memes are more honest. It's a more honest way of doing things, because you're literally telling people up front, it's not worth shit. It's literally based off of nothing. And so that, I think, actually makes a lot of sense, to be honest with you. I really do. Anyways, how do I think things have grown since 2017 to present? We've seen Bitcoin become more and more mature, specifically. The crypto, just general ecosystem, like, I don't know if really much has changed there. It's just every cycle there's like a new sector or two that get, that get to be the hot sector. And it's the same shenanigans that typically go on. A lot of projects, some legitimate, most of them absolute fucking dog shit and absolutely cash grabs. So that really hasn't changed too much. But in terms of Bitcoin, we have seen the landscape from trading change. Obviously, more and more liquidity is coming to the market. And I don't mean that from like central banks printing all this bullshit. It's not bullshit, but just these buzzwords that people use very, very often. But I literally mean, like, the actual order books have gotten much thicker. They've gotten much thicker. So it's very easy to get filled on, big orders now. You can market like 3 to 5 million Bitcoin, and not Bitcoins, but Bitcoin contracts, versus worth $1 USD each. And you're going to incur some slippage, but it's not going to be terrible or nothing like that. It's going to be reasonable. That was not the case, even a few years ago. So that has been good. Obviously, Bitcoin getting an ETF, getting options, these sort of things. I do expect Bitcoin to continue to reduce volatility over time. And we've seen that, with each and every cycle that Bitcoin goes on, the gains from high to high or from low to high, doesn't really matter where you measure it from. The result is the same. The returns are diminished significantly by a massive factor as well. So, to me, that's just the natural evolution for Bitcoin. Over time, it'll be trading, in very tight ranges. Hopefully, I mean, that's actually a good thing. It's, sign of stability. At that point, maybe it actually could be a real reserve currency, something like that. or reserve asset at least. Anyways, Cynic says, can you cover the weekly for Node AI? It's, I guess, simple GPU. Okay. And we're actually only going to do one per person just because it's not really fair to like last week there was like a couple people who posted fucking 10 questions in the same post. Like, dude, come on, man. It's not really fair to other people. A little bit of awareness is good. Anyways, GPU, you're looking at the weekly, so we will do that. And actually pretty good here. I'm guessing this is an AI GPU name, something like that. Daily time frame probably does pull back a little bit here. Can easily pull back down to $1.5 if things get a little bit more crazy, maybe 140. But overall, do I think that the rally's done just yet? Probably not. Short-term corrections likely lead towards higher lows and more long-term continuation. But this thing is getting pretty hot here, so I'm curious where we are in the grand scheme of things. Yeah, it did get all the way up to the 2-spot Fibonacci extension, so pulling back from that, okay, that's reasonable. If it does have continuation to new highs, I guess the next areas of interest would be $3, and then you got 3.5. Yeah, something like that, and then 420 above there, I guess. So yep. All right, cool. Oh man, the coffee here, it's not even coffee, sorry. I get iced Americano even though it's frigid air outside. But it actually really does taste like chocolate in a way, I think. I mean, I haven't really had chocolate in a long time, to be honest. Anyways, Italian Job Bob. Okay. Hello, sir. Long-time lurker, first-time commenter. Been watching on and off since 2019. Can you check Mara, Bitcoin mining stock on the 4-hour and daily? Looks to be rejected for the first time, but maybe getting ready to bust on through. Let's see. First-time rejections are very common. Second-time buses are also very common. Third-time buses are the most common, actually. And this one would be actually on its third potential bus. I get that you're probably on the higher term timeframes here. Yeah, I do think, yes. Just need to see it trade above last week's high, but I do think that that's a formality. Again, respect the trend here. The weekly trend is the upside. The monthly trend also following through here as well. Monthly momentum back onto the upside on extreme low volatility. I do think that this short-term correction likely leads towards another higher low, and this thing probably trades up towards $50-$60 sometime next year. Cool story, bro. I literally just skipped over VC. He says, hi, Crown. What's up, man? SUI daily and weekly. Do you think SUI is following in Solana's footsteps from last cycle? People always like to draw comparisons from one asset to the next from cycle to cycle. It's like, look, Solana is following Ethereum from 2015, and it almost never works out. So I'd say it's just best to kind of look at the asset as hand. But, that's a good thing for SUI. This is fucking good. This is fucking good. Now, this current rally is getting very, very hot right here. We've already actually seen double extremes on weekly BBWP, and the correction was not even that severe, which is very interesting to me. Yeah, 25% correction for an altcoin. I think that's rather minimal. It's difficult here because there's not a lot of price action history for me to use the higher time frames, but the question to me right now is this thing getting ready to actually come back down and try for another higher low at like 375, or is it just going to bust on through here? I'm more inclined to say short term it actually probably does pull back a little bit more, maybe a little bit below $4, but I don't think that the run is done just yet. Let's see what a Fibonacci extension would look like here. Or I guess I've already done it, but yeah, areas of interest to the upside upon breaking above its current high, $5 above there. You got, I guess, closer to $6. Yeah, not bad. Definitely one of the strongest charts that we've seen today, and just from my own knowledge, been one of the better ones in general. A lot of people subscribing. From this video, actually. Should I even show this right here? Yeah, I can show this right here because this is fucking crazy to me. I've gotten so much shit from this, and it's just a video. And I say at the very beginning, like, look, I might be completely wrong about this, but where is the damn video? The damn video is right here. The bull market ends soon. I guess when you talk about anything like that, people are not going to like, most of the negative commenters like don't even realize that I'm not talking about it ends today. It's like, no, if you listen to the video, still many months away. But yeah, again, I'm 100% open to being wrong on that, but why am I even on this topic? Maybe I'm lobotomized. Definitely lobotomized. Crypto Rect says, can you please review? Oh, fuck, I haven't been taking time. All right, so it's 10:15 right now. Start like 30 minutes from now. All right, he's looking at COTI USD on the weekly. Okay. Okay, on the weekly. So this is, I believe, a prior cycle shitcoin. It is a prior cycle shitcoin that has gotten nowhere near its prior all-time high. Is it going to try for some upside moves from here? Yes. Is it going to be anything spectacular? Probably no. Weekly time frame, though. Do I think it follows through here? Very likely. Just want to see it trade above your March highs. If it does, at that point, can see a move like 45, 50 cents. Should be pretty significant, obviously. Monthly time frame. Yeah, I'm inclined to say this one does push on through from here. Monthly momentum to the upside as long as it's above about 11 cents, which it's well above right now. So short term, might correct a little bit more here. Could very easily come back down to like 15 cents. That's fine, but that's just another higher low again. So not bad. Etja says, hello, sir. Thanks for keeping me insane last 4 years. Could you look to merit circle? Let's what are the levels watching why? Well, I don't know what time frames you're looking at, so that's going to be very difficult for me to look into your brain and figure out. Merit circle. All right. There is something on TradingView with that name, and absolutely terrible. It is the worst chart that we've seen today, in fact. While most things are at least getting close to their March highs, this thing is nowhere fucking near. In fact, it is not just nowhere near, it is more than 1,700% away. And for that reason, we have to do one thing and one thing only. And I'm sorry, but it has to be done. So I'm going to press the button.
Nuclear launch detected.
What have I done? What have I done? You made me do this. Very bad. Very fucking bad. It's the worst chart today. It deserves the nuke. I'm sorry. It does, but maybe like a small nuke. We don't want to blow our load just yet. Maybe like a North Korean sized nuke. Can it rally from here? Sure. I mean, maybe at some point this cycle it gets up to like 60 to 80 cents, but this is the real chart here. It's never going to be a good chart. While everything else in their mother have been going on for crazy fucking rallies, even meme coins, which are literally memes, this thing, holding on to literally all-time lows. Not a good sign. MMMS Boltardio says, hello, sir. Hope you're doing great. Thanks, man. Hope you are as well. WRLD on MEXC. Is 7 cents possible or fugazi? Well, anything's possible, but is it probable? Wow. It's like I'm literally looking at the same fucking chart. Nuclear
launch detected.
This one gets the big button. Terrible. 7 cents. 7 cents? Yeah, it is possible, I guess, but the second worst chart that we've seen today. The prior chart that we looked at is worse indeed. This one seems to be suffering from extremely volatile price action, probably due to the extreme low amount of liquidity available. Could it trade up to 7 cents? I guess. At least it has a weekly high or low in place here. So I guess possible. Yes. It's not super out of the question. Even maybe like 8 to 9 cents is possible here, but I think getting above these January, February highs, that's where things get a little bit more interesting. Like I don't know if this thing is that strong. Anyways, Naughty Boy, very clever. Is that a Mr. Bean avatar? No, it's like Sims or some shit. Do you still have a rule to not trade on weekends? I mean, my bots are handling trading for me, but most of my bots I mean, most of the bots that I create, like not even just the ones that I'm using right now, but just in general, they almost always have a condition not to trade on at least one of the weekend days, usually Sunday, actually, especially if it's a long strategy. I've been wondering if the concept of weekend fuckery applies to all coins or just Bitcoin. Oh, it certainly applies to everything, probably more so on shitcoins. And you've been here since Chicago. Fuck yeah, man. Maybe you'll be here for a return to the States as well. We'll have a really good time slot as well, which I'm quite excited about. But yeah, where was I going with that? Yeah, weekend fuckery. I mean, it's Saturday really is the big day where you get kind of opposite moves, if any of the moves even really happen to begin with, because actually the weekends are really just a low liquidity day. It's what they really are. So yeah. Anyways, Myth Reindeer, very clever, very clever. Did you know that that's Gandalf's name for the Gondorian folk of the world? Anyways, good day, sir. Thank you for all these Q&As. Feels great. Like mini mentoring sessions. Sure. I mean, if it feels like that, that's awesome, man. I'm just trying to do my best right here, man. Hopefully, it's of some value. I don't want to think of myself in that way, though. It's a lot of pressure. The question is, how do you get used to trade with bigger amounts, which produce bigger wins and bigger losses, just gradually increasing the position size and feeling more comfy with bigger losses? Yeah, exactly. It's progressive desensitization. It's the exact same concept as what you use in the gym called progressive overload. And it's actually the same sort of concept that I believe psychologists use to kind of help people get over their fears. And so you start with the lowest amount that, a low amount that is, not a big deal to you. And you work your way up from there, but very, very smallly, very, 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 very smallly. And you should only move up from that size after you essentially are, I guess, bored. Like that would be the right sort of emotional state to be in. Like you should not be excited nor sad or emotionally, changed or charged by any trading event. If that's happening, okay, yeah, put up the size, assuming that your strategy is working, assuming that you're still getting the results that you want, yada yada yada. But yeah, that would be the way. The way, and then also just realize that whenever you're doing something new for the first time, it is gonna feel fucking weird. That's just true with anything. But if you just trust that over 3, 5, 10, 20, 30, 50, 100 repetitions, it will become normal. It'll become a habit. And then you have the other problem where you trade bigger sizes and then you need to go down sizes and you don't want to do that because you feel like it's not worth it and because it's not, emotionally affecting you, but that's actually exactly where you want to be. Zaziv says, hello, Zer. Can you look at pre-search shitcoin, which is actually a very good project? Oh, it has great fundamentals, I hear, but seem to be in a doom trend. Well, that's always a good sign when you have a project with great fundamentals, but it's been in a doom trend even while everything else goes to the moon and beyond. Yeah, this one has been around since 2021. It has actually made macro new lows. It has not gotten even a weekly nor a monthly reversal. And so this is absolute fucking garbage. This one actually very well could win the worst chart of the day award. What's holding it back is just the fact that it kind of is. Is it on new all-time lows? Did it make new all-time lows there? It did. Holy shit. Yeah. Just god awful, terrible. Whatever the fuck they're doing, they're lying to you. It's just fucking actual piece of shit. It'll never do anything ever. Okay, I shouldn't say that. I don't fucking know, obviously. Maybe they end up solving cancer or some shit. But look, you don't even have a weekly reversal here. Most things, the strong things are retesting prior highs or making new highs. The middle of the range things are putting in monthly reversals for the first time in a very long time. This thing hasn't even put in a weekly reversal. It doesn't even have a chance to put in a weekly reversal as long as it's below your December of last year highs, which from current price action is nearly 200% away just to potentially have the option of a reversal. So yeah, it can get a nice pop up here. I mean, that is what happens in bull markets. Even the shittiest of shit coins in doom trends get nice pops. But do they reverse the trends? Do they produce sustained upside price action? No. Wrecked Ops says, GM, Crown and Elsa, what is the meaning of life? The meaning of life. Great question, sir. I actually have a serious answer to that, but I also have, but I don't have a flippant answer to that. The meaning of life. The meaning of life, sir. That's what we like to ponder here on a cryptocurrency channel. But let's actually get to your real question, just because I don't want to waste time on that, and you probably don't actually give a fuck anyways. On a more serious note, are there plans to launch a more basic version of your tooling set with a lower entry price? I think you're probably referring to the Quant Prime program. Let me just bring it up here so that I can like verify that one you're talking about the same thing. So I'm talking about this one right here, Quant Prime. Is there a plan to offer, like, I guess, a lighter version of it? No, we don't have that right now, to be honest. We released a quantum wave bands as kind of like an option for that, but you know, you can see right here with the quantum wave bands, it only works on two different timeframes, and the strategy itself is just it's set. You can make some very minor alterations, you know, with the way that it manages stop losses and take profits, but you can't change like the underlying strategy. But it is at a much more reduced price, obviously. And then, of course, like I said, for the sale periods, we will offer this. We will offer discounts for the lifetime of the of the subscription for this as well. So that is a good way to kind of save a few bucks. And then also, just because I see right here, it's actually even for me, it's showing the tax included here. So if you wanted to get around the tax issues, I've heard that a lot of people have been using VPNs. Maybe that can sometimes cause issues with credit cards and whatnot. But yeah, that is maybe one way to get around that, or just leave the fucking Europor region. Anyways, we'll move on from there. Moali 31 says, do you think the following the alt season's already begun? It's been going. I've been saying this for a long time. This is where I've gotten so misheard on this. Like, people think that I said no altcoin season ever. No, I don't think that the alt season that most people are hoping for is coming, because it never does, where just everything goes to new all-time highs. No, that has never fucking happened. There's always things that get left in the dust, and things from prior cycles are usually a strong candidate for that. And I expect that that's exactly what's going to happen in this cycle as well. But as far as alt season, I think that's been going on already for a long time. We've seen memes go to the moon and beyond, and now we're getting a lot of the utility tokens, putting in some pretty tremendous rallies. This is alt season. You're already seeing it. It's a 2017 playbook, and if and when Bitcoin does top, you're going to see them have like that one last splurt for some pretty epic gains, and then that's it. There will be an NFT season historically. Do you think following the alt season, there will be an NFT season? I don't know. Obviously, we don't have the history of NFTs in the same way that we do alts, because alts been around, for, I don't know, I guess like 10 years. So NFTs have really been only around for one cycle. So we don't know. We don't know what's going to happen. As far as trends repeating, I mean, sure, trends repeat, but is this the same trend? No, I think it's a different thing. So I have no comment on that. I don't know. I really don't know. Also not something I focus on anyways, because like NFTs just goes straight over my fucking head. It makes sense, but at the same time, it's like, all right, I don't care about your fucking profile picture, sir. Maybe that's just me. Anyways, Nick says, love your shit. Thanks, man. I love my shit too, especially the super creamy kind. Been watching daily for years. Awesome. MicroStrategy daily, weekly. Okay, got it. This one should be interesting actually to look at. This was actually one of the precursors to the Bitcoin breakout when this thing was breaking out early in October here, that we were focusing on this channel. But looking at the weekly right here, I believe we looked at this one earlier this week, or perhaps it was 2 weeks ago, and we said, hey, this thing is likely initiating a correction here. Yeah. based off of this bearish engulfing dildo. It has been correcting for the past, what is this, almost 2 weeks now, or yeah, about 2 weeks. I expect that it actually will continue to correct a little bit. We probably see BBWP come down a bit lower. It did hit a very extreme level here that we have not seen, in a very long time, since March of this past year, on a pretty epic run as well. So, this sideways range can go on for a while, but I'm not bearish on this. I'd only be bearish on this thing if it came back down below like $300 and closed a weekly below there. Even then, the weekly is just a reconnect with the 5 exponential right here. So I'm not like, it probably goes sideways a little bit more here, maybe has a little bit more downside. Theoretically could come down to like the lower end of this, of this trading channel. Man, my fucking stutter is just getting crazy nowadays. I used to go to speech pathology class for this. It's not working. Anyways, 450 is the number to beat, or 453 if you want to be super exact. Whoops, there we go. Right one. Okay. AC says, hey, Crown, Amazon weekly, monthly. Okay, nice. Some stocks. I actually really enjoy looking at stocks because, it's different. You don't need me to tell you that that's bullish. Again, we're going to get the double derp signal over here on daily BBWP. I expect that this rally continues into this week. And you probably see the next sort of, I guess, another swing high. Maybe at the end of this week, maybe the week after that, leading into Christmas. But overall, the breakout's real. The power is real. The weekly trend continues very likely here. Volatility just getting around 60 percentile on the weekly. So I do expect that this one does have more upside to go overall. Just daily time, and even the daily time frame has more upside to go in the short term. It's just very likely it does put in a swing high relatively soon, and it can come down, significantly towards like 214 to 216 region on a pullback. Again, still just a higher low though. Hard to hate. Jube says, hey, Crown, is the concept of free will compatible with a deterministic universe, or are our choices merely illusions shaped by forces beyond our control? I actually do. Okay. This is such a terrible question, because I actually do think that we actually don't have free will. I don't think so. Not in the way that people think that we do. But at the same time, if you believe you have free will, then that actually might just be good enough anyway. So, but I mean, your choices are our brains are all just one massive algorithm anyways, right? So it is kind of predetermined in a way. Like your path is mostly set. That is a really crazy concept to think about. Maybe the answer is psychedelics. I don't know. Anyways, Link BTC daily. Sure. Link BTC. I know you asked about the daily, but yeah, whenever I see a weekly trend like this, I'm not going to like it, man. Do I think it can go more to the upside here? Yeah, but just again, remember that this thing has no chance of it's not even in a reversal until it's at minimum above 4750. Which is a very long way away from where it currently is. Now, short term, on the daily, you are getting extremes here on daily BBWP. I do think that this rally actually might try for one more new high, maybe retest the highs from early December, maybe a little bit higher than that. But after that, I'd be looking for a bit of a pullback. But pullback should be a higher low. Daily time frame likely does reverse here. I mean, even the daily hasn't reversed, which is really, really crazy. But, perhaps it looks something like this, a little bit more continuation, comes down, sets in a higher low, and then I guess the most bullish look would be, works way back up here. But again, long term, hard to love this one as long as it's below 4750 on a weekly closing basis. Just no real reversal going on until that happens. Just short term. Anyways, we have Smickies. He says, would you consider shorting Ethereum futures, expecting more downside in Ethereum to Bitcoin after Bitcoin weekly EMAs have crossed down? Or do you think sitting out and waiting out the big bear with money on the side is probably a better strategy for non-expert trade? I mean, if you're a non-expert trader and you're not going to be watching this, diligently and, yeah, I would just sit it. I would just sit it out. I mean, that is essentially a simulated. I mean, it's not really a short position just to sit out, but it's a really fucking good position. Like, people do not understand in general that having no position is a position, and a lot of the times it's actually the best position, or it's a very, very good position. Sometimes it can be a bad position, sure, but it's never the worst position actually. So yeah. Yeah, that's really what I'll say about that. Yeah, if you're going to specifically say non-expert traders right here, what do you expect me to say, man? Like, I'm not going to say, no, dude, you need to be in your seat, short, pressing the red button. Maybe you do like a smaller trade size if you really want to get involved, something like that. Don't have to blow your whole load, sir. Asi Barash, sir, you need to aware me on how to pronounce your name, because you comment a lot and actually really enjoy speaking with you on the Discord, but I have no fucking clue how to say this. JTO Daily and Weekly. Okay. JTO. All right. Okay. Newer shitcoin and acting better than many things we've seen today. Not the strongest of the strong, but it is stronger than most. Daily has flipped back above 333. I don't know when I charted this last, but the LARP line's basically the same shit here. I actually do think that it will have a chance to push through here and actually retest, around these highs that you saw from May or April and May of this past year. From there, just follow the trend. It does look like this thing might have a short-term pullback in the meantime, but again, short-term pullbacks are just higher lows. Anything above $3 is fine for this thing. I'd be looking generally for another try to the upside. Very limited history here, so it does make it difficult. But these are the right conditions for these assets during this portion of the market cycle. Nobo Diop says, hello, sir. What was your worst day within your 15 years of trading, and what lesson you learned? The day that I literally went broke was probably the worst day, but I'm guessing you mean what's the most amount I've ever lost in a single day? Tell me about your worst experience ever. It was fucking shocking to me at that time. It would still be bad, if it happened today as well, but not as bad. But one day, kind of early on in my career, I lost $150,000 in essentially one day of trading. It was fucking awful, man. Look, my lesson there was my general lesson that I tried to parrot many, many times, because I think it's the most powerful lesson, and it's the best way to guard against, having any sort of potential experience like this to begin with. 1, don't fight the trend. 2, if you're going to be trading at all, and you really actually want it to work, you need to have absolutely these things done in advance before you ever take a trade, which is 1, you need to have objective identifications and metrics for what designates an entry condition. And then you need the same for an exit condition, and then also the same for a risk management condition. If you can do that, and then that'll give you a framework to back test off of, and then you can actually apply that. But that's why I really come back to tools like this, or tools like the Skeleton Key, the Quant Prime service over here, because it forces you to put it into that language. It forces you to put it into the language of, if X equals Y, then true, and that is an entry, and then obviously it also does handle the execution portion of it as well. But yeah, man, it really that is the most important lesson of trading, is that there's just no way of getting around that. Yeah, you can definitely get lucky trading discretionarily. Yes, there are some people who do trade primarily discretionarily as well, and they do well, or at least they say. But it just, there's going to be at least one point in your life where you're just not feeling right, or maybe you just had a little bit of an off day, or whatever the fuck's going on in your life. Millions of things can happen, and then that day you're not going to be on top of your game, and you're going to freak out when something happens, and then you do the wrong thing, even though you've been doing the right thing for the past 20 years straight. It can happen. That's why I prefer tools like that. Anyways, yeah, really good question actually, though. All right. J35 says, long-time caver, first-time caller. Nice. When using fib extensions, do you use log scale or standard scale? Standard scale. And why? Do you, do you really care why? The reason why is because Fiboswani told me, and that and that seems to hold a lot of weight. No, the reason why is, one, he did tell me that, and then two, I checked it out as well, and it does seem to hold more significance when using it on linear scale. It just gives you the proportions more, relevant to like what's actually happening. But I have seen instances where the log scale works as well. But I think if you're going to use it, you could probably use either one. But I would default to linear. And Fiboswani is obviously the master of Fibonacci's, and Fibonacci extensions falls under that domain. And your chart scale should match, or I do like to put it on linear actually as well when I'm doing that. If you do log chart, it gets a little bit too crazy. It could be relevant, but I always go with the less egregious of the results. Johan Weird Aldo says, Acron, I've been trading the Bitcoin inverse perpetual on a daily and weekly time frame with 2 to 3x leverage. Okay. Now I'm in some profits. Nice. And I've started to evenly scale out of my positions between 89 to 100,000 ish. But now I realize that even if I get out of my position, I'm still in Bitcoin spot. Yes, because you're trading the inverse perp. So you're holding Bitcoin to trade Bitcoin, and you get paid out in Bitcoin as well. And I'm uncertain if I should scale out of the spot position as well if I think it's time to get out of a leverage position. It's I can't answer this question for you. What I can give you is some sort of guidelines, I guess, to make this decision for yourself. But if you're holding Bitcoin, what does that essentially mean? It essentially means that you think Bitcoin will continue to go up. If you think that, then holding spot Bitcoin is fine. If you, however, think that, there's going to be a major pullback, maybe a market top, these sort of things, then of course you're going to preserve more value by taking that underline and trading it for Tether or USDC or whatever the fuck. Again, if that's your disposition, if you say, hey, no, I think Bitcoin's kind of going higher here, I'd rather just hold spot. That's fine. That's completely fine. How do I play it? Well, again, this is based off of my preferences. I just leave it in Bitcoin. But that's not to say that that's going to always be the best call. Anyways, Asi Barash says, are you still using Bybit or Bluffin for your trades? I keep going back and forth with which exchange. I actually use one on one and another on another because I have two strategies right now going on both of my bots. And so I split it up right there. One, because I want to try out Bluffin to make sure that everything's all good. And actually, so far it has been good. It's basically a Bybit clone, but it is no KYC, which is really attractive to a lot of people out there. I wonder why. But Bybit is still more liquid, and I think it's still the most liquid of the Wild West exchanges, which is a dying breed. But no KYC, obviously. But yeah, Bybit also has a history now as well. It's been around for about 6 years, and they haven't, to my knowledge, they haven't had any issues. But yeah, and then of course, Bluffin is also massively. Is also massively what's it called? Well, what the fuck is the word that I'm looking for? What I'm trying to allude to here is that with Bluffin, you can get an actual lifetime fee discount, which even Bybit doesn't do anymore. So I've been working with a few different exchanges over my career. At the beginning, they would always give fee discounts. They'd even have 0% fees for maker orders, by the way. This was like a long time ago. But in recent times over the past couple of years, they don't do that no more, which is I understand their side of it. Obviously, they're a business and they need to make money. But of course, as a trader, that is really fucking attractive to get any sort of a discount on your fees because it's just more money in your pocket. So Bluffin is the one that actually does allow for. It's actually not even a fee reduction. It's actually cash back. So you make a trade, and then during their next funding period, money just shows up in your funding account, and you basically get 15% back of your trading fees. And again, that link will be available for you in the description of this video as well. It'll be right here. It's not 10% anymore. It's 15%. It also applies to the lifetime of your account. So yeah. perhaps of interest to a lot of people out there, because I don't know how much longer they're going to offer that for, but people who do lock it in, they lock it in for life. So let's keep our fingers crossed, because I fucking love that discount as well. Anyways, we have Kirox. He says, let me just check on time. Wow, we're almost at the end of that 30 minutes. How much more do we have? I just need to... A lot more. Okay, we're not getting through all this today. I'll do a few more, at least. Kirak says, hi, love. Cave Lord Crown. I'm Gaylord Crown. Wonder what you think about Dixie with this last weekly close. I mean, I can give you my thoughts on it. I just don't think it matters that much. People were trying to draw corollaries of Dixie and Bitcoin for the longest of times, and even myself included. But I think this last rally kind of negates a lot of the things that many people think, or including myself. It's like, look, they're both rallying at the same time. Like, really, what's going to be what's going to be the narrative? Well, I'm sure people can always come up with a narrative, but that's the problem. It's narrative reliant. There's never just like a maybe. It doesn't fucking matter. If you're looking at Bitcoin, look at Bitcoin. If you're looking at the dollar or Forex, look at Dixie. Then it makes sense. But yeah, anyways, if you're just asking my opinion on the last weekly closure, it's popped back up to this prior high here. Again, very common to pull back from these highs. Technically speaking, I should be looking for a higher low on this pullback. Who knows what the fuck happens? Because this thing, it's highly actual event driven, and I have no inside information on that. So, so yeah, man. Even looking at the monthly, I'm inclined to say it probably goes higher overall, but I don't fucking know. I certainly wouldn't be betting on it. Anyways, Duke Royal says, how often does a strategy's efficacy fade away? I mean, I imagine over a long enough period of time, like any strategy will fade away, but that might be when the universe ends as well. I mean, trend trading seems to never really go away. Might lose its efficacy in some portions, but anyways, or do most live on for forever? No, absolutely not. And you're just switching it up for the love of gay TA. At what point do you call it quits? Well, the reason why I switch strategies sometimes is because some strategies are more optimized for certain market conditions than others, meaning that you might have a very aggressive strategy in a bull market for a bull market, but when the market turns around, that aggressive strategy no longer performs very well, and so you start to give up a lot of your profits. What I generally notice is that lower time frame strategies, especially hourly and under, these do not have super long shelf lives, and anything that's like below 15-minute, fucking forget it. Like even within a few months, things will change. Yes, you can find some strategies that might work over time, but you're going to be giving up a lot in some other domain in order to account for that. So, are there strategies that that can work for forever? I mean, you can't say that because we haven't seen for forever yet, but you can find some strategies that, I have some strategies that I've not really changed, except very, very minimal, just optimizations in the past couple of years. So, yeah. And then also, and also another reason why I switch it up is because I am gay for TA. I mean, that much is true. And sometimes you're just looking for something new to see if it's an improvement in some way and see how it actually operates, on a real account. Anyways, TX Sigep says, do you consider the CME futures chart to be superior to Bitcoin USD chart? Yes. Yeah. In terms of signals, yeah, absolutely. But the problem is just there's not as much price action history. So, if you're doing more long-term analysis, then obviously you can't use it. What are your thoughts on the base ecosystem? I'm just a terrible person to ask about this. I have no fucking clue. I don't know. Moo Keith says, hey, Crown, how would you recommend backtesting strategies based on reversal candlesticks, as it seems quite arbitrary? There's your issue. It's fucking arbitrary. Actually, given our conversation earlier, I think this is a really good example of, look, your signals need to be objectively defined. Like, the reason why your strategy is going to be very difficult here is because it's arbitrary. You don't really know until hindsight comes in. And then, of course, your backtesting looks good. Yeah, in the backtesting phase, like I almost knew what you're going to say. In the backtesting phase, all is well, 80 to 90% win rate. Yeah, that's because you're hindsight trading. But when I implement said strategy, it leaves me lost. Exactly. You don't have objectively defined entry, exit, and risk management conditions. That's just the answer, period. There's nothing else to it, man. Nothing else at all. Again, that is why I favor services like this, the Quant Prime, because, it forces you to put things into objectively defined language that can then be executed. So, yeah. OG Fred says, Crown, will Whiff keep its hat on? I think we went over that one earlier, so we'll move on to the next one. I think I'll do maybe like 5 minutes more. Billy Joe Winghead says, GM, sir, I managed to work this Ethereum Bitcoin strategy up based on your 5 EMA setup. Does this seem like a feasible option? This is not the best place to ask about this, man. You can just ping me in the members section. I mean, I guess I'll just check it out really quickly here. But yeah, at first glance, not bad. No, whatever the hell's going on here, no. Very minimal amount of total closed trades. This whole nonsense right here just is an eyesore, just straight down. Yes, it is making higher lows per year, but your opportunity cost is going to fucking kill you on this thing. Absolutely not. In my opinion, yeah, you need premium to backtest, a decent amount. Back to 26. I mean, okay, yes, 2016 would be fine data, but if this is indeed 2016, you have a very low amount of actual total closed trades. You have a couple of tremendously large winning trades, which are giving you the bulk of this equity curve. So I'd say you need to find something that is probably a little bit more active, or at least has a more steady kind of slope over time. It's just very difficult with only 47 total closed trades. I mean, like, what do you expect, man? It's not gonna be going off of much there. Yeah, I think Ashi Barash has got you right here as well. All right. Okay, just some conversations going on between people. Yeah, it does take some time with the Quant Prime service, or what they refer to as a skeleton key, because that's what comes within it, to kind of figure it out. So I totally get it. If you're new to it, it's going to be a bit of a learning curve. Absolutely. We try to do our best in the Discord to kind of walk people through. But really, the best way to learn, of course, is, just by trial and error, doing it yourself, and seeing what works, seeing what doesn't. And, you'll start to kind of zero in on what's right for you over time. Asi Barrage says it took about 2 months. Yeah. I mean, even that, in my opinion, is like a little bit fast. Crypto Khalifa says, morning, sir. What are you looking for with the potential double derp setup on the daily? We've gone over this a few times. It's pretty simple. Which one had a good example? XRP had a good example of this actually recently. Let's go to the daily. One extreme followed by another extreme relatively close afterwards. Sometimes you see a deeper contraction phase between the two. Sometimes you don't. In this case, you don't. And when that happens alongside momentum turning down, very, very likely you're going to see a counter move. And you did see a counter move here. I still think that this one is probably not ready for like the actual breakout, but it does seem to me like it likely spikes these highs, maybe even trades a little bit higher, but then comes back down, sets in a higher low, and then tries something to the upside. That's what I kind of guess right there. Also, you might see RSI divergence as well. If you see that, it should be pretty obvious. VC says, hey, Crown, ENA on the daily weekly. Okay. ENA. All right. Ethna, daily and weekly. Okay. Daily time frame getting pretty extended here. Seeing volatility get quite high. Can go higher though. Momentum turning down, however, below 104. I do think that it probably has found a swing high where it's at right now. Maybe it spikes that area, again, or even a couple more times, similar to XRP. But I do think that you come down from here and you set in a higher low. Anything above 80 cents is good, but that's a tremendous percentage move. Long term, though, I mean, have to be on a higher low watch. So, not the strongest thing, not the weakest thing. Would get a lot more excited if you see weekly closure above 110. At that point, this thing, probably just goes for new highs, to be honest. Anyways, moving on now. We have Shuren Shurer. Greetings from France, dear Lord Crown. Good morning to you as well, mon ami. Nope, you literally already asked about Hammy Soul. Why? Why again? All right, Tom BJ, great name. STX versus BTC. Okay. I started watching this one recently as well. It's stacks and it's like Bitcoin DeFi or some shit. Actually, it is in an uptrend versus Bitcoin, which is very interesting. Putting in its next, I'm guessing, monthly high or low right here. Yeah, momentum very close to turning up as well. Yeah, not bad. Short term, however, has it found a high? Yes. Very likely does come down. So that's in a high or low. How low does it come down? Maybe like anywhere around 2,400 Satoshis is completely fine. Not saying it has to get all the way down there, but that'd still just be a higher low. The problem is though, is that you do not have a short-term reversal in here just yet. So really dependent on putting in a higher low here. Otherwise, the current trend is to the downside. The monthly trend is to the upside, however. So I'm inclined to say that the long-term upturn will continue, but maybe, if it does fail around 2,400, maybe it looks something like this, does something like this. Until then, I don't really know, but I'm inclined to say probably has a chance to push through here, seeing weekly momentum turn back up, likely with the open of next week. So we'll see. King Manu says, is it wise to convert my crypto to convert? You mean trade? People don't understand that when they talk about conversion, you're literally trading one asset for another. My crypto portfolio to stablecoins as an exit strategy when the bull market ends. Or could this approach present certain risks? Everything has certain risks. Of course, it's just which risks are you comfortable with having? So, if you go into stablecoins, for example, well, Tether's, had the fucking Tether truthers for a long time. Nothing's ever really come out of it. But of course, there is always that question in the back of your mind. Okay, what if Tether implodes? I don't think it will, but I don't fucking know. I can't look into their back end. I don't know. What about USDC? Maybe some sort of litigation comes against them because I think they're like a US company. These sort of things, could affect it, I guess. Theoretically, these are risks. Are they like very high probability risks? Maybe not. But yeah, there exists risks with these things, obviously. Of course, fiat currencies, you have risk there as well. I mean, it's risk wherever you look. It's just which one are you comfortable with? I mean, if it's a real recession, fiat currency is going to be the best thing to be having, not stable coins, but that's just my opinion. Or at least that'd be the better choice. J Brown 77.7 says, when would it be appropriate to use Fibonacci extensions on log scale versus not? I think we answered that earlier. Generally just use linear. So yeah. Rano Sano. Okay, I think we end on this one. Hey Crown, thanks for the opportunity to ask a question. All good, man. I've been following your analysis for a while and notice how often you reference patterns like the 3 drives of RSI as a probability metric, double tops, double bottoms in conjunction with BBWP and other discretionary methods of analysis. My question is, would it be possible to automate these approaches? Yeah, absolutely. You can definitely automate them with a quant prime. Actually, there is a difficult thing with the double derps, the double extreme BBWP, because you'd have to really define like, okay, what is the maximum amount of time that can transpire before you look at this as like no longer too close, because that is discretionary right now. So that actually would be difficult to do. But 3 drives of RSI, yeah, you can easily. You can easily, automate that with the quant prime. The double derps, I'd actually have to, maybe one of the mods knows how, some of these guys know how to use it better than me at this point, with like these more difficult to do things, but possible, I guess. Good question, right? Okay, last 2, just because these are easy. Bitcoin Buddy says, can you please show me how to use it to add the 5 EMA and the settings you use on TradingView? The setting is 5. All right, a little bit of TradingView hand holding here. At the top of your TradingView, which is actually blocked by my browser, or you can just type in, I think it's backslash on your keyboard. That'll bring up the TradingView public library. In the search bar, you type in EMA. and you go to technicals, moving average exponential. That'll bring this up on your board right here. You go over here into the settings and you select length 5. There you go. All right, let's get rid of that now. Okay. And last one for Sunburst, he says, hello, do you offer a course for beginners looking to get into technical analysis? Not anymore, but I do have on my YouTube channel just a whole playlist of sort of beginner stuff, which I think is probably good enough to get most people started. Obviously it's free as well, so there, that's like quite attractive, and it's very possible that I do an updated version relatively soon. So yeah. All right. I think that's where we have to end things for today. There are still a lot more questions going on right here. Again, if you want priority, you can join the member section underneath this video with the join button. And yeah, we're a little bit over 1 hour. Holy shit. These were supposed to be 30 minutes long, but now they're 1 hour. In fact, I will post the new one right now. As always, it is first come, first serve in the Discord. Let's see, it is December 8th. Yes, December 8th, Q&A. And I'll post this right now. Please, one per person. Everyone a chance. All right, cool. So there we go. And I'll let everyone know. New Q&A live. All right, and I'll post a new one, of course, on YouTube for the YouTube members as well. We'll end things on that note. We'll be back tomorrow with a regular analysis, see what's going on once we get these new weekly opens. Again, for Bitcoin, we'll see where things kind of close out today. It'd make it a lot easier if Bitcoin does close above about 98,500. So I guess we'll see. Until then, I'd like to wish you the best. Take care, much love, and see you hopefully next time.